All day, you know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, next generation of Baltimore sports talk. I'm your daily strong host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by the button lover, Josh Soroka.
Hey, Matt. This team has been fun this week, and last week too. I feel like.
Are you
don't
talking
ask
about
me to name some of these players?
Are you talking it's fun because you talking about the Frank the Tank promotion and Frank the Tank in the splash zone? Is that what's fun?
Do you want to talk about Frank the Tank? Am I supposed to be angry about Frank the Tank? Like, I know he's a Mets fan.
I think you're supposed to think it's weird if you're with me.
I know he's
weird.
a Mets fan, but guys, the whole Mr. Splash is weird. And the Orioles are doing it because if Frank the Tank comes in as guest splasher, the Orioles get featured on Barstool, which is like the biggest name in sports right now. That's why they're doing it.
I don't know. Is Barstool still that big anymore?
I assume it is. I don't know. I know it is with younger people.
All right. Well, I don't think that's. Is that true anymore either? Aren't the younger people now in their 30s?
Oh, you know what it is? It's big with, I think, the bro dogs who are 30 and still think they're in college, still act like they're in college.
Yeah, that may be true.
I think that's the Barstool demographic.
But I think people think it's
outside.
Weird because like the Splash. We understand celebrities can do that, Mr. Splash, but I always thought it was like Orioles people, and he's a Mets fan. That's the weird.
Well, who have they had? I get that.
They've had Adam Jones.
All right, Jones yet?
Yeah, momentarily Rubenstein.
Who
else has done it?
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it has always been like Oriole fans.
Like it hasn't just been famous people.
But Frank the Tank is also throwing out the first pitch. Do you have a problem with that?
Again, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's weird.
It is. All right, I'll give you that. It's weird. But I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it for the eyeballs. The problem is normally you would do this because it's going to bring more people to the game.
You think people go to see Frank the Tank?
No one's going to go to see Frank the Tank.
All right.
Cal did it as well.
Who did it?
All right. Cal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, not sure if you've
more
heard of
evidence
this guy.
to my point.
Cal Ripken. He had a dad that was pretty popular too, and a brother. I don't think we've had Billy.
Oh, is that Bill's brother?
Yeah, Bill's brother.
Oh, okay, Bill's brother. Yeah, I got you. He's the guy on MLB Network. All right.
Yeah. He's that overrated baseball player.
Yeah, who had that funny baseball card? Bill Ripken.
I mean, Cal's the overrated baseball player.
Oh, Cal's the overrated baseball player.
Yeah. You know, he just showed up to work. He didn't actually play good.
Yeah, not enough MVPs.
Not enough Gold
best,
Gloves.
Yeah,
not enough
being the best shortstop in the game year in and year out. Yeah. Hey, speaking of shortstops, Gunnar Henderson makes about 2 to 3.
I'm here.
Amazing plays every game, and so
he does.
That's been fun to watch.
And the errors have seemed to go away. The Gunnar Henderson errors.
Yeah, there was
that we would complain about. Something was going on where he's now figured it out.
Yeah, his throws are all on point. There's no, April was maybe a little bit rough, but no, he is. And Ben McDonald says at every broadcast that he's like the best shortstop in the game right now. And certainly no disagreement from me there.
Well, and I believe the stats, at least for the past few months, also lead up to where he's in top 5 in like all the different categories.
Yeah. Josh, you were sharing with me before, like the Orioles record. This is surprising to me since like June is one of the best records in baseball, right?
Yeah, they're in like the top 5 teams in baseball since like May 24th, since Trevor Rogers came up. Because I saw the stat we got to talk about Trevor Rogers and his season. But I saw the stat at the same time I saw the stats on Trevor Rogers' 12 games.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I think a couple weeks ago we were really depressed, not just about this season, but about going forward and this offense and how we're going to fill these holes.
But it's also kind of sad that we put ourselves in such a big hole that even playing playoff caliber baseball for 2 months isn't good enough.
Yeah. Yes.
Now,
and we can, well, Josh, and we knew part of it is, and we haven't really seen this yet, but part of it is we knew we'd be better in August, September.
yes.
We healthy, but we haven't even seen like Bradish and Wells.
Right. That's what was Bradish Wells was supposed to be what pushes us. Now here we are. I guess, how do you feel about this team right now? When they win games like they did with the Red Sox, where the first game was pretty dominant, thanks to Trevor Rogers. And then game 2, to see them, the bullpen blow it, but to see the offense come back and win. I mean, it's sort of giving me confidence about this team again. And I feel stupid because I know their playoff chances went from 0 to 0.2 in the past week.
Yeah,
but
we're at 0.2. We're at 0.2, people.
And I'm like, well, for the first time in months, we passed someone in the standings as we passed the Twins in the wildcard standings. And I know we're way out of it.
Angels up next.
But it's like one thing at a time. And this team seems to be having fun. It seems like there's a vibe in this clubhouse right now. And I know winning fixes a lot of that.
Yeah, and it seems like, well, what's causing the winning? It seems like there's a couple of things. One is, and you alluded to Trevor Rogers, but not just Trevor Rogers. Josh, in the month of August, and this is not the first week in August, we're at August 20th now. Our pitching, this is starting, relieving, everything. Pitching is second in all of baseball with a year of 3.
And that includes our frustrating bullpen.
Yeah, that includes Cano back there. And so the pitching has been amazing, specifically the starting pitching. It seems like every day someone is pitching lights out.
Yep.
And so that is, on the one hand, that's super encouraging. On the other hand, if you're Mike Elias, and again, I'm not even thinking about this year in the playoffs, that 0.2, I'm watching that. I'm paying attention to the Angels, and I want to keep them moving up in the standings. But thinking about next year, and my thought is, like, how does this change how Mike Elias approaches the offseason next year? So, someone was laying out for me a playoffs, a next year rotation, and a month ago I would have said we need to sign at least 2 top of the rotation arms. Now, if you lay out a rotation of Rogers and Bradish, I feel like that I got my 1 and 2 already. And then the way Kramer is, well, maybe you extend Sagano, and maybe Brandon Young can figure this thing out because he's got good enough stuff, as proven by almost pitching a perfect game. Now all of a sudden, wait, and that doesn't even include Povich on the list, and then the young arms that are coming up. So now all of a sudden, does that? But am I just being fooled by 3 weeks of baseball? I don't know.
I both are correct. Now, I think we still need a veteran arm. Because
don't say that. Oh, I hate that so much. You sound like Mike Elias. You want to re-sign Charlie Morton?
No, I don't want to.
Gibby?
No.
That's what you're saying. A veteran arm. I hate that.
I want an established Cy Young candidate. I want a guy where it's not.
From veteran pitcher to Cy Young candidate. That's quite the.
No, I want to go. I want to say, hey, like at this point, Trevor Rogers has proven enough to start in the rotation next year. If we don't sign anyone, he's proven enough to get the opening day start with this season. But I don't want to go into next season with it all riding on Trevor Rogers because he hasn't proven it in multiple seasons. I want a proven veteran that can be in this rotation because you also got to keep in mind the injuries we've had. That's going to cause an issue. And right now, we have the depth going into next year because you also didn't mention Grayson Rodriguez and Tyler Wells as they rehab and get back.
True.
So we have some depth, but if we can put a pitcher up there that we're confident with, even a Zach Eflin, I'm not opposed to even re-signing Zach Eflin, but I want someone better. I want you to impress me. I want a Corbin Burns, something like that in this rotation.
Yeah, not Corbin Burns now, but the top arms in this offseason are, I mean, Dylan Cease, Zach Allen, Framber Valdez. That's the cream of the crop right there.
Yeah,
So
give me one of them.
What one of those three would be amazing. But if we can't get one of those three, then I think looking at that next tier, or we're going to have to look at the trade route and adding someone via trade. But I agree, we need someone to slot in that can slot in there with Rodgers, Bradish, and another guy like that.
Yeah, and what we need to look at is, all right, June, July, August went well for the team. What went wrong in April and May? And I think you can look at pitching, and I think you can look at injuries.
Yep.
And I think pitching you can address with a trade or a sign-in, free agent sign-in. You can address pitching in the offseason. I think you need to look at this injury thing, and is there anything we can do, or did we just have really bad luck this year?
Yeah, that's hard.
And then again,
there's so many factors there. It's hard to
exactly. It's hard to know if it's strength and conditioning or if it's bad luck, or if it's analytics being pushed too hard,
or too many potholes in the Camden Yards parking lot that need to address.
So you've got to look at that, and then you're gonna sign an out. You're gonna need an outfielder.
What, Josh? This is the other thing that's changed: the starting pitching, and we'll see how this. I mean, I'm curious to see how our pitching does from now to the end of the year. I'm sure that will inform what we do in the offseason. But I agree, no matter what, we need to sign at least one really good arm. The other thing, we mentioned the outfielder before. The other thing that's changed this week is Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basallo. And something we can say about Samuel and Dylan is, and I mean, I'm sure you notice this too, it does not look like when Jackson Holliday first came up, and does not look like when Heston Kjerstad came up.
Both these players, I trust at the plate. Both these players have gotten hits. I did not like the move in yesterday's game where you pinched hit for Dylan Beavers.
Yeah, I kind of get it, lefty righty thing. I
get the lefty righty thing. Yeah. But I trust Beavers in these situations. I love the pinch hit in Basallo, which clearly worked and got the run in, even with a
powerful, powerful 2-foot hit.
Yeah,
and it just seems like, I remember watching Holliday, and it was like every time he came up, he was 0-2 count for the first 3 months of his career. And it's not like that. I mean, Beavers is drawing walks, they're broken the count. Basallo is really aggressive and seems to even hit it even when it's 5 feet above the strike zone. And both of them just seem like they don't seem overmatched at all. And it's just been a week, so who knows? But the first few days, they're getting RBI. I mean, Basallo has RBIs in every game he's played in. Beavers getting on base all the time. So it just that. And for me, I was expecting, because I've been conditioned to, these prospects to get caught up and struggle for months at a time.
Right. And they both came out right away.
Yeah. And it's about freaking time we've had players to do this, and I hope it continues.
Yeah. And when you get good bats in your lineup, it helps everyone in your lineup because of pitch selection and adjustment and who you want to pitch to. And I think you're seeing that also you're seeing an immediate impact with Ryan Mountcastle now that he came back healthy and is hitting the ball again. You're seeing the whole lineup start to hit the ball because there's no holes.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch, too, the Mountcastle and Mayo thing. But you're right about, the lineup looks really good. And think about this. We traded away 3 of our starters a few weeks ago.
Cedric Mullins, Ramon Laureano, and Ramon Urias?
Oh, yeah, 4. Ryan O'Hearn.
Oh, yeah, and Ryan O'Hearn, of course. So 4 guys that were getting regular playing time.
Yeah, they're out. And yet you look at the lineup and you're like, man, this is a good lineup.
Now 2 of those were brought up by rookies, and we knew that. And that's also why when those trades happen, with letting Cedric go and Ryan O'Hearn specifically go, and we had those discussions of, well, we have to make room because we've got Beavers and Basallo. We got to find a way to get them in here.
Yeah. And now there's space for them, and they're playing well. And I mean, I don't think there's no one else knocking on the door in terms of position players.
No.
So it's going to be, so this is kind of who we're rolling with. But to your point about the outfielder, it still feels like we could use an elite center fielder or move to a corner outfielder if we want to do that.
Yeah,
so correct. I still agree. Yeah, we need one more outfielder. But I'm feeling, and this is also without Tyler O'Neill, who I think he will be a nice addition next year against, and maybe for the rest of this year whenever he gets back from his body soreness.
We have a team option next year for him, right?
No, it's a player option.
Oh, so he'll stick around.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. unless he feels uncomfortable with this. Maybe it's like wants to get rid of this cursed year and go try with someone else. But I don't think he's going to make more money than what we're going to pay him next year. But I still think he can be a nice addition, just platoon against lefty if he can get past the body soreness. And so, yeah, I feel like all of a sudden we have our infield, and we can. It's a little bit weird what's going to happen at first base and catcher with Mayo and Basayo and Rutschman. It feels crowded, but it also feels like you can, and with DH you can figure that out.
Is there any chance
all those players can stay?
Any of those guys get traded this offseason?
Who's the most? Yes, of course. Who's the most likely?
I was thinking about this last night.
If you had Rutschman, Basayo, or Mayo, who's the most likely of that three?
Well, you're not throwing Mountcastle in there?
I guess Mountcastle. I mean, I don't know if other teams want Mountcastle, but sure.
And I think it's Adley. I think it's Adley simply for trade value versus step down. Adley's been struggling, but he's still got a high upside.
Who has more trade value in that? Rank the trade value: Mountcastle, Adley, Mayo, Basayo. How does that rank, you think, for other teams in terms of the trade value?
I think Adley's got the most trade value.
You're insane.
Who do you think has the most trade value?
Basayo, and it's not even close.
Oh, but Basayo, we're not trading. Basayo is a no trade clause. So I wasn't even thinking Basayo.
I asked you, Mayo, Basayo, Adley. So, okay, Basayo has the most trade value.
Yeah, but he's not going to be traded.
Right. Elias would be a fool to trade him. Elias not going to trade him. So then who has more trade value? Mountcastle has the least. I think we agree there. So then it's Mayo or Adley. You think Adley has more trade value than Kobe Mayo?
I think Adley has the most trade value of those three. I think Mountcastle has more trade value than Mayo.
Yeah, so stupid. Mountcastle has one more year. Adley, Mayo has like 20 more years.
I guess there is control. There is control there.
And Ryan Mountcastle will cost like, I don't know, $8 million next year.
You're right. Versus $1.5.
Mayo making $8. Yeah.
Yeah. Or 800,000 probably.
Yeah.
All right. You're right. So it's Adley, Mayo, Mountcastle for trade value.
I think Adley and Mayo is really close.
Do you see either of those guys being traded?
It's hard to me. It's hard to me envision Adley getting traded. Like, I know Basayo can catch.
It's hard for me to envision Basayo as your everyday catcher at this point, as him getting more starts over Adley.
Yeah, Basayo's a big guy too. He seems just to make a lot of sense at first base.
Yeah, but I like that. He looked good behind the plate too, though.
Yeah, I also like having that flexibility and depth too.
I do.
If Adley goes down, it might be my experience this year with Hundley and Jackson and whoever else was playing catcher this year.
Who started the season as the backup for Adley? Do you remember?
Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah, Sanchez.
Yeah.
I like
whatever happened to him. Is he still on the team? Is he alive?
I think he's hurt. I like the idea that with Adley and Basayo, you've got, not only do you have catcher 1 and 2, but you've got that flexibility at DH and first base, where even if you put Basayo at first base, if something happens to Adley, you can move him behind the plate.
Yeah. And as this year showed us, like, stuff happens all the time.
Yeah. Right. People get banged up.
Yeah.
So I like keeping them both. Then you look at first base and being crowded with Mayo and Mountcastle, and it gets tough, but you've got the DH slot.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, maybe pull up Mountcastle splits. If Mountcastle becomes strictly a platoon lefty guy, either at first base or DH, but only playing against lefties going into next year, and Mayo becomes, maybe Basayo becomes more the everyday. I don't know. It's tricky. It's tricky.
It's a tricky situation they got to figure. Yeah. But you know what? It's not a bad problem to have. Yeah, and maybe you do make a move and trade someone to make that decision a little easier.
Yeah. I mean, if someone wants Mountcastle, I mean, I think the Orioles might take them up on that. I think it'd be harder. I mean, Mayo could definitely be traded, but I think it would need to be a really good.
Have you seen enough from Mayo yet to feel good about him.
I mean, he had that ball. Was it yesterday? Off the. It was like a strikeout.
Yeah.
Then he hit the ball as hard as you'll ever see anybody hit the ball off the Green Monster for a single. And it wasn't even like, I think he barely got to first base by the time the outfielder got the ball because it was hit so hard off the wall. And then the next time he struck out. And for me, I feel like that's Mayo, right? He's going to crush a ball and then he's going to strike out.
So he's Chris Davis.
Yeah. I would like to see, like, if he can just have a better understanding of the strike zone and walk some more and like replace, like, I'm okay with the strikeouts. Yeah, hit the ball hard. Right. But if we can do a little more kind of Schwarber stuff and get some more walks in there too. Like so far this year in 52 games, he has 47 strikeouts and 15 walks. I'm okay with the strikeouts, and I love what I've seen in terms of the power. If we can get the walk numbers up, that OBP up over 300, I would feel better about it. But I'm still kind of wait and see mode with Kobe.
Do they experiment any more with Mayo this offseason with right field in order to alleviate things at first base?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the need for an outfielder, and certainly, but Kobe has become a really good first baseman, and he's a very good first baseman. He's put in the work. He still needs to work on that toss to the pitcher. Every time he tosses to the pitcher, it's like it could go anywhere.
But to be fair, that 2-foot throw, that is a hard throw by anyone.
You got a moving target. Yeah, he needs to maybe get in with Lamar Jackson and figure out how to hit a moving target, how to lead the pitcher. But it would seem, Josh, this is all like they've known this was going to happen, right? In terms of Basayo and Mountcastle. So you would think that they would, if they thought right field was a real possibility,
they would have done it by now.
They would try it. And then I think about Basayo too. I know no one's mentioned him in right field, but everyone's talked about how athletic Basayo is. I know he's not fast.
He looks like bigger. He's too big for right field.
Yeah, I agree. But there's some big players playing. He would lose a little bit of weight, work on the speed. But yeah, I would think that, but maybe we'll see Kobe Mayo playing spring training in right field. I think he has. I mean, was a third baseman, so I think he has the arm for it.
Right.
So I think yeah. I also like, after some of the outfield experiments we put up with Jackson and Mayo and even Kjerstad out there, I would love to have an outfield of Beavers, Cowser, and then another really good outfielder out there who knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
that would. Fly balls in the outfield should not be like, oh, I wonder if he's going to get it. Can we just get outs, please?
Yes.
So yeah, I saw a lot of open questions, and I think I'm curious to see how. I mean, Basayo didn't get to start yesterday, which is kind of interesting.
No. And we believe it's because of the lack of hustle, because he watched that double.
Yeah, I don't know if that's conspiracy
barely
theory,
make it in.
Conspiracy theory stuff, but he did hit that ball off the Green Monster 2 days ago and just watch it, and then started running. Was almost thrown out.
Yes,
but he was safe, so it's a little bit more forgivable. If he was thrown out, it would have been unforgivable. I don't know if that had something to do with it. He caught the night before, so to give him a day off. You're also trying to fit in, but see, I would say you're trying to fit in Mayo and Mountcastle, but Jackson was catching. There's no reason to fit in Alex Jackson into the lineup.
And you're forgetting the biggest conspiracy of all.
What's that?
At bats. They got to keep his at bats down.
Oh yeah,
for rookie status.
I think he'll be fine with the at bats.
I think he'll be fine with that as well.
Yeah. If that's the case, then Beaver shouldn't have played either.
Right.
Hey, yeah.
I was just going to say, maybe they're not expecting Beavers to be a Rookie of the Year candidate.
Oh, yeah. I know. I think both of them going into next season, I don't know what the rookie class is, but I would have to imagine they're both. Besides, it would have to be 1 or 2, and Beavers has to be in the top 10, I would say, for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I would think they're both up there.
Just because, if for no other reason, they're going to be playing almost every day, presumably next year, unless we get stupid with some platoon crap with them. Hey, we were talking about this last night when you went TikTok live and I joined you.
Yes.
And we got there for the late innings and kind of the chaos that was our
Yeah.
bullpen. I thought it'd be fun, Josh. Now, if you'll allow me to take a look at some of these bullpen arms.
The guys who were like every time they come out, we're like, who? Where did they come from?
We were like, who? And so I decided to look up some of their MLB bios.
All right.
First of all, did you know? Have you ever looked at on MLB.com? You go to the player's name and look at there and click on the bios. They're not consistent at all. Like sometimes they talk about their wife and kids. Sometimes they talk about like what they like do in their free time. Sometimes they have like bizarre grammar, like ellipses everywhere. Like there's no, and sometimes they're blank. Like they have no consistency to these MLB bios.
Do you mean on that little like view more bio info?
Yeah.
I've never clicked on that.
Yeah, you just never know what you're going to get. It feels like a middle schooler is writing these, and they're just so random. But I thought they need to make a 30 for 30 about the Orioles bullpen this year, because it is an amalgam of players from everywhere. So I thought we'd go through today, Josh, with a few MLB bios of some of these bullpen arms we've never heard of.
I looked up one guy, and I have questions based on MLB.
I have them all, and they're all of these bios raise more questions, I think.
All right, who do you want to start with?
Who's your guy? Who's your guy that you have questions with? We can start there.
Dietrich Enns.
Yes, he's one of the best ones.
All right. So how do you want to introduce him?
Sure. As our, I don't know, what is he? Is he our new closer? I don't know what he is.
No, he didn't close last night. He's just a bullpen guy. Setup. Right. Let's go setup, man.
All right. And he's been for the Orioles this year. He's been pretty good. He's pitched in 9 innings so far. ERA under 3. He came as a trade from the Detroit Tigers. If you look at the latest transactions, and I'm sure we're going to get to this in his bio too, his latest transactions, obviously the Orioles activated him as the latest transaction. If you go down to January 6, 2025, so this offseason, he signed with the Tigers. And prior to signing with the Tigers, his next transaction was from 2021.
And that
4 years ago when he was released by the Rays.
And that is my question, that the Rays released him in 2021, and then 2025 he signs with the Tigers.
Yeah. So and those are, he's 34 now. So that's like it's like playing age of like 29 to 33.
Right.
He was just like not playing.
Yeah, he was drafted in 2012 by the Yankees in the 19th round. But where was he for 5 years? 4 years?
Yeah, drafted by the Yankees in 2012. So this guy goes way back. And then, if you look at his the bio in MLB, the last update is 2020, where it says released by the Mariners on May 27th. And then there's it says
do you know
he also played independent ball that year and then was signed by the Rays.
No, do you know where he was for those years?
I don't know where he was for those years.
In 2022, Dietrich Enns played for the Saitama Seibu Lions in Japan's Nippon Professional Baseball League. So in 2022, he was there and pitched in Japan.
All right, that's Enns.
So I guess Enns kind of rebuilt his career I know I kind of brought you to a stop there, but he kind of rebuilt his career there. He then signed with the Twins, not the Minnesota Twins, the LG Twins of the KBO. Is KBO Korean?
Yeah.
He signed with them in 2023. Yeah. So 2 years with the Lions, then with the Twins, and then he came back to America and joined the Tigers.
Yep. And then he was traded to us for some cash.
While he was in May of 2022, while he was playing for the Lions, he graduated from Northeastern University through online school.
Good for him. All right, so that's Dietrich Enns. That's Dietrich Enns. Let's go to our closer yesterday. If we can go there to Yaramil Geraldo. And if we look at him, he's another interesting guy. If you look at he was in 2024, he made 24 relief appearances with Durango. Where's Durango? See, that's what I'm talking about. Like these the bios in the MLB are not even consistent. It doesn't even tell me like what Durangos are or where the Durangos come from, or what league they are even in.
I think is it part of the Dominican Republic? Is it one of the leagues over there?
No, maybe. And then in 2023, so 2 years ago, he split seasons between, do you know these teams? The Charleston Dirty Birds and the Staten Island Ferry Hawks.
Yes, I do.
You know those teams? Are they playing the Savannah Bananas?
They might as well be. They are professional baseball, like independent ball.
Okay.
Is the at least the Charleston Dirty Birds. And since he was traded to the Staten Island Ferry Hawks, I assume they are independent ball as well.
Yes. And so here's a guy who's been playing independent ball.
And Durango is part of the Mexican League.
Okay.
So he was playing in Mexico.
Okay. So he went from independent ball to Mexico. Here's our other closer. Or here's our other relief pitcher.
I mean, and he has good, I'll tell you, he's got good stats for independent ball. 164 ERA, a 129 ERA, and then a 205 in Mexico. So he had good numbers in these weird leagues.
Yeah. So if you look at like even the stats for his minor league career, you know, you can see him playing in the minors in 2019 and then in 2021. And then there's nothing between 2021 and 2025 when the Orioles signed him.
Right.
So just
because
like
22, 23 was independent ball, 24 was Mexican ball.
Yeah. So just like ends, just not even playing in the majors.
We talk about we want this big free agent. Maybe we need to be looking at players outside of Major League Baseball to see where Mike Elias might be looking.
Yeah. Wait, let's move on to a guy who struck out the side with the bases loaded, one of the most unbelievable relief appearances you'll ever see. Yes. Joshua Rico Garcia goes by Rico Garcia. Let's look at his season. Now he is a little bit more traditional. He played for the Nationals the national minor league team last year. That he played this year, he's played for the Yankees and the Mets most recently, and then we claimed him off waivers in early August, but off the Mets.
But do you know who signed him in 2021, and then in 2022 put him on their 40-man roster? Do you know, and took him to Toronto for a game?
The Orioles.
The Orioles. So this guy's been
got some history here
for a game. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's I guess a familiar name for Mike Elias.
He when he was on the roster for 6 games with the Orioles in 2021, put up a 4.5 ERA with 2 strikeouts through 8 innings.
Yeah. And again, just like Enns, who was drafted in 2012, Garcia is no spring chicken. He was drafted in 2016, age 31 years old. So another guy who's been around, but not, again, by be around, we don't mean in the majors. He's another guy who is this, I mean, besides kind of the cup of coffee with the Orioles before, this is really his first extended opportunity, I think, in the majors.
The Orioles claimed him off waivers on August 5th. The way he pitched yesterday was, I think, the first time I've noticed him, because so many guys have been coming in and out of this bullpen. He's pitched what, three games, it looks like, with the Orioles.
No, he's pitched more than that, right?
This season?
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Okay, he's pitched. He's pitched 4 games.
4. All right, sorry. So much more than 3.
Yeah.
So, but the fact
and he has
that
pitched. I give him a look. Right, he's pitched 54 innings, in his career. He's pitched 19 this year, and his career 54 innings over starting 2019. So the past 6 years, you know, he's averaging a good 9 innings a year.
That's almost 8 games.
Yeah.
But no, I don't. The pitching performance to come in with the bases loaded and strike out 3 in a row.
And it was the heart of the lineup. It was their 2, 3, 4 hitters. Yeah.
It was the guys.
A good Boston lineup. Yeah.
It put up and I now want that guy to close. Like, he's the guy I want in high pressure situations. I want to see what he can do. I'm intrigued by Garcia simply from that pitching performance yesterday.
All right, another guy, and this is where I'm talking about how the bios get weird. So if you go to Corbin Martin, our next reliever,
Okay, he came in. He got the win last night.
Yeah, let me, because normally they just say like where they're from or something. Here's his opening bio, according to MLB. It said married, wife's name is Alyssa. ... The couple has 2 children, Braxton and Sage. ... Grew up in Hempstead, Texas, approximately 50 miles northwest of downtown Houston. ...
What type of bio is this? Where's the baseball?
Well, listen now. Until the 1940s, the town was the top shipper of watermelons in the United States and still holds an annual watermelon festival in July that draws over 5,000 people.
Dude, that's great. What's this have to do with Corbin Martin?
I don't know. That's in the bio though. It's a bio more about Hempstead, Texas, than it is about Corbin Martin.
I mean, I'm all for a watermelon festival. Why not? But I'd like to know a little bit more about Corbin Martin. Yeah. I know he came from the Brewers, right?
Yeah, he came from the Brewers. He's another guy that's had all these journeymen, right? This is a bullpen of journeymen. He's been around for a while. He actually has played with us. I think the majority of the season he's been, and last year.
Yeah, he's been around all season.
Yeah, and last year was with Norfolk. So he's been a bullpen arm in Norfolk this year and last year. Not great numbers in Norfolk, but he's been a guy that's bounced around to a bunch of minor league teams and now has ended up with the Orioles in their bullpen. There's so many of these guys, and the Orioles maybe other teams do this too, but it feels like minor league journeyman is what kind of is filling this bullpen right now. And some of them minor league journeymen in the majors and some of them in Mexico and independent baseball, but they're all kind of journeymen from kind of everywhere. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, but because of that, it means you can't count on any of those guys for next year.
Yeah.
They're all kind of placeholders.
Yeah, Martin hasn't pitched in the majors. His last time in the majors was in 2022 with the Diamondbacks. And so it's been 3 years since he's been up in the majors, and so now he's getting his opportunity. And he's been up and down too. He's had some moments where he looks kind of elite. Yes. And he's also had some moments where he looks kind of ugly. So
yep.
All right. There's 2 more guys.
Okay.
This guy is Cade Stroud. He is more of your traditional, like, this is how you expect pitchers in the bullpen to be.
Well, and he's been around all year, right?
Well, yeah, and he was drafted by the Orioles in 2019.
Okay, good.
Yes, and he worked his way up through the minors from Aberdeen to Bowie to Norfolk this year, kind of working his way up. Not elite, blow you away numbers, but just kind of steady, decent numbers. And so he is like a Mike Elias drafted guy that's made it here to the bullpen. So he's the only guy that kind of fits that description.
Right. Now, where did he grow up? And what type of festivals do they have in his small town of West Virginia?
Yeah, and so his bio,
here's
what his bio says. Attended Mansfield Legacy Texas High School, ...
Another Texas.
Enjoys hunting in the off season.
Do you think the guy that writes these bios just really likes Texas?
Yeah, I don't know. And like this guy, it's like sometimes it mentions your hobby, like he mentions enjoys hunting in the off season, and sometimes it mentions kind of what that city's known for. Each one is
odd.
Yeah. Here's our last bullpen arm. Because no reason talking about Cano, Aiken, we know those guys, but the last kind of unnamed bullpen guy. Do you even know who I left off this list so far?
I don't know who you left off. No.
Grant Wolfram.
Oh, of course, Grant Wolfram.
Or I should say Wolfram.
Because his bio says been there all year, but it's kind of like who?
Yeah, his bio says name is pronounced Wolfram. Nickname is Wolfie. ... Is married. Wife's ... Is married ... Wife's name's Abigail ... The couple has a son named Boeing. Graduated from Hamilton High School, where he played tennis, basketball, and football in addition to baseball. Attended Central Michigan as a freshman before transferring to Davenport, Michigan University for 2 seasons. Spent the summer of 2016 playing for the Kalamazoo Growlers in the Northwoods League. Is an avid fan of the Detroit Lions. Enjoys fantasy football, golf, pickleball, and boating on Lake Michigan.
So he's a Michigan guy.
Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
where this bio guy gets all this information. It's just so, and it's worded so weird too, and there's ellipses everywhere. It's just so bizarre.
Maybe it's AI. Maybe it's like whatever they could find, AI could find on the internet.
Oh yeah, that's true. Perhaps that's it. Yeah. So he is. He's another guy that came from Milwaukee. Milwaukee optioned him at the beginning of the year, and we picked him up, and then he's kind of been with Norfolk ever since. And this is his. I mean, he's what 28 years old, and this is his first time in the majors, so he's getting his first opportunity. So good for him after kind of being in the minors for the past 7 years.
Yeah.
He's getting his first opportunity in the majors. So you like to see that. And he's been with let's see, he's been with several different teams in
Texas
the minors,
and
so.
Texas and Milwaukee, I believe.
Yeah.
Went through those two organizations.
Yeah.
It's
that's our bullpen.
Group. Well, yeah. And you know what? The bullpen is the weakness of this team right now. And you can see that. But we started this show with saying that pitching all together, starting and bullpen is second best in the majors at the moment.
Yeah.
So
and something that really helps is, I mean, it felt like early in the season, like every guy was pitching on 1 day's rest, and there was no one rested.
Yeah.
And everyone was pitching in back-to-back games. Now, when your starters go consistently 6-7 innings, you only have to get through 2 innings of your bullpen. It just makes all the difference in the world how you deploy that, how you can rest guys. And so part of this is too, the starters go longer, I think just makes your bullpen better. And hopefully out of all this stuff, maybe you can find, I mean, I don't expect our bullpen to look like this going into next year, but maybe you can find, whether it's Rico Garcia or Stroud, you find 1 or 2 guys that you feel good about to put in next year's bullpen.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, if Rico Garcia pitches like he did yesterday, put him in there all the time.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's also, speaking of the bullpen, for me, one of the biggest question marks of next season for me, and I think like, this is huge. Yeah, in terms of the bullpen.
Batista's health.
Yeah. Who's going to be our closer?
Yeah. It's Batista's health is the biggest question.
Yeah. Because that makes all the difference in the world if you have Batista closing. Because right now, as clearly, we have no closer. Right. And it's like the quarterback thing where Mantelino is using different closers. And it's like, if you have 3 or 4 different closers, it means you don't have a closer. And so we want Batista back. And I think if you don't have Batista, that's a huge hole. So hopefully his health is okay going into next year.
Are you concerned about Cano? Or is it? Or do you think it's an overwork thing?
I mean, he's interesting because he's not really a strikeout pitcher, even though it looks like he has really good stuff. He's more of a ground ball pitcher,
right?
Like he to me is, I don't know, needs to be more strategically used. 7th inning, maybe when you need a ground ball, but I don't like him as, certainly not the closer. I don't like him as an 8th inning guy either.
Yeah, right. You want him early
in the 6th or 7th inning, maybe to get you out of a jam or something. And so, yeah, my confidence in Cano has gone down throughout the year. So, yeah, I'm not feeling great about him going into next year.
You want him in that?
I think he's in the pen.
You want him in that Brian Mattis role, like a very small, narrow role. And if we put you in here, you're going to succeed.
Yes.
But let's not put you in against anyone except for Ortiz.
Yeah. We got to find, I mean, he's a righty, but we got to find those righty matchups that are really conducive to Cano when we need an out. I don't think you can just pitch him against anybody.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All
right.
What we covered a lot of pitching. Real quick before we get out of here, let's talk manager.
Oh no.
Does it? Because you know the concern. The concern is that he pitched good enough to keep the job.
He managed good enough.
Yeah, he managed good enough. Did I say pitched?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we haven't gone there yet, but the team has definitely turned around with him as manager. Is this one where Michael Elias just says, "Hey, let's roll with it," or does Michael Elias learn that he already made that mistake with Brandon Hyde?
Well, this is a very different situation from Brandon Hyde. Brandon Hyde, I felt more was like handpicked by Michael Elias. And then Mike Elias's hand was forced. It sounds like to us, right? Mike Elias's hand was forced to fire Hyde. I don't even know if he ever even wanted to fire Hyde.
Yeah, that's probably true. Maybe he can rehire Hyde in the offseason.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. You've been on the bandwagon for I feel like for the last decade about Buck Britton being the future manager.
Yeah, but I don't even think they're looking at that anymore. All the rumors are someone outside the organization.
Right. And on the surface of it, it makes sense that with a young team, one of the youngest lineups right in all of baseball, even though we do have a veteran pitching staff in terms of age, in terms of bullpen, as we went over, but this roster is going to be predominantly younger players.
Yes.
And so it would make sense to have a veteran manager who's been there before,
right,
to kind of keep things steady, especially one of the things have been, and Jordan Westberg, I think, has come out at kind of this leadership role with some really great quotes the past few weeks. But one of the question marks has been, and the team has talked about this kind of openly, the lack of leadership.
Yeah.
Without veteran players. And in the past, we have guys like Frazier and Odor and Chirinos to kind of fill that veteran presence. And now even O'Hearn and Mullins, and now all those guys are gone. So it's just a bunch of young players. And so if the leadership is not going to come naturally from the players, then you certainly need to have a manager who can lead. And having an inexperienced guy like Manzolino leading a bunch of inexperienced players, especially when you get in the playoffs with no playoff experience and players with very little playoff experience, is that what you want? I don't know. But if Manzolino wins and keeps on winning, that's a strong case.
That's where you force your hand. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a resume builder right there before. So I think, I assume what's going to happen in the offseason is Manzolino will do an interview, and they'll interview other guys too, and they'll open it up. But Mike Elias is going to get his way. So it's who Mike Elias wants. That's how this.
But I don't even know. Can Masolino go back to bench coach? Can you do that? Or do you feel like that was then undermining the next guy, or do you have to just let him go?
Yeah, I don't know exactly the logistics. I'm sure you can find another role for him. But I'm curious for Manzolino, it might be if he doesn't get the job now, maybe he feels like he can't climb any higher in this organization. So he might look for a job at a different organization. I'm sure Manzolino will be in baseball somewhere next year, even if it's not with the Orioles.
I agree. Remember, Brandon Hyde was young, and they put Freddie Gonzalez as his bench coach to give him that veteran leadership. Is there any chance we could get Buck Showalter on that bench?
How long before Buck was brought into this? There's no world where he is just a bench coach. I don't see that, right?
I agree. But it's hard not to talk about an Oriole manager opening without wanting Buck back.
Yeah. The reason I like Buck Showalter is two reasons. One, he's a great interview. Two, when you have Buck Showalter in the dugout, it always feels like you have the smartest guy in the room on your side, right? In terms of baseball, to me, there's no one smarter that exists in terms of knowledge of baseball and the rules and everything. That's Buck Showalter.
And he empowered player leadership. He allowed Adam Jones and Nick Markakis and JJ Hardy to be leaders on that team.
Yeah. Yeah. How much of that is Adam Jones seems to be a natural leader as opposed to maybe what you have on the current team? I think that's part of it, though, right?
But but it also has to be a little bit of the coach, allowing that leash and saying, I'm going to stand back here. You guys got this.
Right.
And talk eye to eye, same level instead of down at your players.
Until Mark Trumbo complains about getting pies in your eye, and then there goes the pie celebration.
Oh, I hope one day Adam Jones truly talks about that incident. I think he's too nice of a guy.
He's not shy. Yeah.
I think he's too nice of a guy, though, to throw Trumbo under the bus.
Yeah. No, but and Manzolino, his press conferences are also entertaining because he's super honest, probably too honest.
Yes.
He doesn't have enough of a filter. Very different from Elias, actually. But from Hyde. He doesn't have a filter.
Nope,
and that's kind of refreshing. Yeah, that's kind of refreshing, the honesty. And a baseball lifer, so he knows baseball. He doesn't. He's not cerebral like a Buck Showalter.
Yeah,
So
he did have the great quote after Brandon Young's almost perfect game, saying that for 8 innings we were the best team in baseball or something like that.
yeah, and some of the moves are head scratching, like Vasquez batting second in yesterday's lineup makes zero sense in any world.
And
A lot of people criticize Garcia being pulled
pulling
after,
Garcia after 3 strikeouts.
yeah, which right, if you had a traditional closer, it makes sense, but we
Right.
don't. Like, right.
Correct.
So there, and I feel like no matter who the manager is, Josh, remember how much heat Hyde took over lineups? I feel
Oh,
like
yeah,
though
always.
with pitching and like any manager is going to take a ton of heat because they can't be perfect all the time. So,
Yep.
and
People
I
love-
don't want to hear anything about Elias making the lineup. It's just not true.
It's clearly not true anymore. If it was, it might have been more with Brandon Hyde. It's definitely not true now.
I don't think it's true with Brandon Hyde either.
I think Brandon
Elias gave his
Hyde had a
manager
lefty-righty
yeah.
issue.
Yeah. But even all like the super platooning isn't happening anymore either,
No.
like it was before.
Nope.
And I don't think there's an organizational change of philosophy. I think it's just a different
Managerial.
manager.
Yeah.
But there's always going to be those decisions to criticize. But I tell you who won't platoon stupidly is Buck Showalter. He's going to roll with his guys,
No.
not caring about lefty righty matchups.
Oh yeah, he likes his guys.
Yeah. So I don't know. And another, I mean, I'm be curious. A lot of names are going to be thrown out there. Ryan Flaherty, people love him too. So his name's going to be thrown out there.
They do.
Buck Britton's name will be thrown out there. It's going to be an interesting kind of decision and discussion where Elias goes with it.
As we get out of here and close up now,
Yeah.
is there any chance that we could interview Frank the Tank
For the manager job?
for the manager job? You know, while he's in town being Mr. Splash.
I tell you what, it's not a bad idea. I like, because managers have become too kind of sterile and whitewashed, and
Exactly.
and Frank has a little more color, a little Earl Weaver throwback.
And you know what? I don't require my managers to be Oriole fans ahead of time. They can become a fan after they get here.
Really? You think is that the same with Mr. Splash? Is he going to be wearing an Orioles hat as he's doing Mr. Splash, or will he be wearing a Mets hat as Mr. Splash?
I hope he's wearing a Mets jersey.
Yeah.
Just to upset people even more about our fake mascot.
So when the Orioles hit a double or a home run, he is supposed to celebrate with Oriole fans as a Mets fan and splash the fans, or is he going to splash and celebrate when the Mets hit a double?
Are the Mets in town?
Oh, I just assumed we're. Oh no,
we're not playing
Houston.
the Mets.
It's Houston.
It's
I don't know. For some
Houston.
reason, I had my head that he's a
No,
Mets fan. He's
see,
watching the Mets
if
game.
it was the Mets in town, I would have a problem with that. The
but
fact
that would
it's
be
not the
even
Mets
more
in town.
entertaining if we beat the Mets and Frank the Tank was there to lose his mind.
Yeah, but that's a stupid PR move. That's a really stupid PR move. This I just don't care.
Yeah. All right. That's fine. You're right. That's a little bit better, but also a little bit less entertaining. A little more weird, actually. All right. Let's get out of here. It's a weird episode. I got stuff to do.
Yeah, you got a meeting in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Or 4 minutes.
Yeah. All right, boys and girls, thanks for listening. If you haven't done it yet, what are you waiting for? Go to Apple Podcasts and review the show. This is weirdly an exciting time to be following the Orioles again. Not
It's
sure how
really
and why
odd.
this happened. I thought I was done for the season a month ago, but now I'm back in. Just to think you're out there. Back in.
That's what
I'm
the Orioles do.
I'm about to go sign up for my 20-game plan. You can follow us on all your social media platforms. Follow Josh on TikTok, and you can follow me on X at Section 336. And you can follow Josh
At Josh Soroka.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go O's.